Tua Tagovailoa has finally received his money. It's a 4-year contract extension worth $212.4 million. I'm going to start off this video right now by saying no, this is not an overpay at all. I literally just dropped a video a couple of hours ago talking about training camp the past couple days, and it's been a disaster for the offense. Mike White and Skylar Thompson have been out there throwing picks all day. Tua came in today and played the whole practice, and people were talking about maybe they have some momentum on a contract, and obviously they did, but he was lighting it up. His first play of 11 on 11s was a 70-yard touchdown to Tyreek Hill, which, for those who were wondering, had 69 air yards on that, again, 70-yard touchdown. So it was good to hear from media members talking about him lighting it up out there. But yeah, man, 4 years, $212.4 million. It's what Dolphins fans have been waiting to hear. And from an inside source that apparently a lot of people have been talking about, Tua Tagovailoa apparently dropped down that guaranteed money that he wanted at first. Apparently, I think his agency is First Athletes or Athletes First. They wanted him to take $175 million guaranteed, and that ended up being $167 million guaranteed, which puts him at 8th in the NFL, actually, in total guaranteed money. The whole list is going from 1st to 7th. Deshaun Watson, Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, Lamar Jackson, Jalen Hurts, and Jared Goff. And then, of course, Tua at that 8th spot. But yeah, man, $167 million guaranteed. Of course, it's a lot of money. But out of $212 million, it's not as bad as recent contracts that we've seen in NFL history. Speaking of NFL history, this is the largest 4-year deal in history that we've seen. And additionally, it's the richest contract in franchise history for the Miami Dolphins. Dan Marino, in his career, made a total of $51 million. And now Tua Tagovailoa is going to be making $53 million per year, and now getting to that per year basis in the NFL. When he signed this contract, he was third in the NFL on that per year basis, making, of course, $53 million. Trevor Lawrence and Joe Burrow each making $55 million. And then, of course, it was Tua at $53 million. And then a little bit behind was Jared Goff at around $52.5 million. But as of about 30 minutes ago, Tua is now 4th in the NFL at a per year basis. Jordan Love has jumped everyone and got into the top of that list. I think he just signed a 4-year, $220 million contract extension with the Green Bay Packers, despite only being the starter for this past one season. Green Bay is going to be a very interesting team to watch next year, but talking about the Miami Dolphins, that's what we're focused on right now. Tua has dropped to 4th in the NFL on that per year basis at $53 million. So, like I said, this is not an overpay. Now that we see Jordan Love and Trevor Lawrence getting $55 million a year, who really don't have much to prove for it other than one playoff win each. Patrick Mahomes signed that 10-year, $500 million contract a couple years back. He's going to want to redo his contract to, why is Jordan Love getting $5 million more per year than Patrick Mahomes? He just won back-to-back Super Bowls. Josh Allen hasn't done shit in the playoffs, but he's greedy. He's going to want his money because they're not paying anyone else in Buffalo. So those two guys are definitely going to have to redo their contracts sooner rather than later. But they've done it, man. Like, we don't know the extent of his contract fully. We don't know how much he's making in 2025 versus 2028 in that extension, but he's locked up in Miami for the next 5 seasons. I'm sure we're going to have more videos about this when we see more about that contract, but I'm not going to end the video just yet. We have a lot more to talk about. Like I said, Tua came into practice today. He played the whole day. Everyone was getting excited, talking about maybe they have an agreement, and he even released a video on Instagram talking about it. He was excited, and he broke the news himself, man. Congratulations to Tua. Man, I mean, I know I'm young. I haven't really been there for the history of the Miami Dolphins, but since I've been watching this team, obviously, 2024, we've got a great team. Tua Tagovailoa is the best quarterback I've ever seen live in person in a Miami Dolphins uniform, of course, because it's definitely not going to Ryan Tannehill. But yeah, man, coming into this league, very injury prone, the Dolphins took a chance on him. He was Ryan Fitzpatrick's backup, and he worked his way up. And with Brian Flores, that whole era was very messy. Mike McDaniel came in, worked up his confidence. In year one, he obviously had all those concussion injuries. And year two in that system was, a one and done in the playoffs, but it was progress. And year three is where Kyle Shanahan took his 49ers team to the Super Bowl in his third year as head coach. So we're hoping that Mike McDaniel can do that. The third year is where Kyle Shanahan really implemented the tight end into his offensive system. That's where George Kittle, of course, came in. The Dolphins bringing in Jonnu Smith, hoping that he can be, I'm not going to say he's going to be George Kittle, but he's going to be our version of Kittle, and he's going to do that blocking. He's going to do the receiving that Kittle did in San Fran in Shanahan's system. Same with Smythe. I think he's going to have a big role in this offense as well, but talking about Mike McDaniel's system, Tua Tagovailoa is the only guy in the NFL that really fits the system properly, and that's exactly why he's getting $212 million right now. Is because he's the perfect guy for the system. I'm sure the Dolphins are going to give Mike McDaniel an extension actually next offseason if the Dolphins can make it. If we can win a playoff game. If we don't win a playoff game, we're going to see a lot of people saying, "Great, we're stuck with Tua for the next 3 years." But yeah, man, the Dolphins have done it. Credits to Chris Greer. Credits to Brandon Shore, to his agent, Mike McDaniel, for getting all this done. I mean, I know I'm just some random 16-year-old fan in Miami, Florida, but man, am I excited about this. There was no way that the Dolphins were going to let the fans come to training camp on Sunday, which I'm, of course, going to be at, and see Tua just standing there not doing anything without a contract. There was just no way that that was going to happen. And I find it funny that a couple hours after Tua gets his contract extension, Jordan Love sitting there like, all right, let's go top this. And he goes out and gets $55 million per year from the Green Bay Packers. But yeah, man, 4 years, $212.4 million, $167.1 million guaranteed for Tua Tagovailoa. He's locked in with the Miami Dolphins for the next couple years, and they can really now focus on the season. This was the one thing that was kind of holding them back going into training camp. But now they've got everything settled. They've got their squad. They've got everyone they need. No injuries right now. Of course, we're working on Odell. We're working on Armstead. We're working on, Holland had a little setback. But other than that, we're just trying to keep guys healthy. We've got everyone going into this upcoming season, and I'm excited, man. We'll have another video coming tomorrow. We'll start with the, with the AFC and NFC record predictions for each division. I'm excited for this season. The Miami Dolphins are going to be a contender once again. It's been a long time since, but either way, that'll wrap up. Hope you guys enjoyed. Tua Tagovailoa is locked in to the Dolphins organization for the next couple years. Have a great day. Peace.